So, it's me, Celeste. I've been gone for a while, huh? So welcome to my channel, or if you're not new here, welcome back to my channel. Yeah, it's been a minute. So it's been 8 months. I'm not going to bore you with reasons why. I'm back. Hello, everybody. How is quarantine going? Everybody here's kind of said all the sentiments that need to be said. I hope everybody's staying inside and doing their part. My area is getting hit pretty bad with it, so I still have to go to work. I am happy on one side to still have a job and be making some kind of income, even though it's lessened because my days have been cut. But also I'm nervous every time I go to work, so it sucks. But what it has allowed me to do is to kind of, I was thinking about this channel a lot in the past months, and I was like, I really want to get back into it. I just felt like I had no time. I really did. It was just I didn't really know where to pick back up, and I kind of figured it out now. But I've been buying vinyl. In the meantime, I haven't been buying a ton. I mean, I did, but I went through a period of like 4 months where I was saving up for something different, so I couldn't buy that much. So what I have here is more like 4 months worth of vinyl, and it's a lot for one video. I feel like it's not a ton for 4 months. I didn't buy as much. Now I'm really back into it. I was buying though, like I was going to the record store every week, whatever, just not getting as much. I was saving up for stuff, but now I'm really back into it because I have another video after this one coming that is going to be all of my social distancing purchases, which is all the online purchases I've been making while I've been sitting at home making bad financial decisions. No, just kidding. I had some money. So I've been buying some vinyl to kind of cheer me up and listen to while I sit at home. And so I have a pile of those in the back, but they haven't all come yet. So that's going to be my next video, is showing you all of that. I have some really cool things. But right now I want to show you all the things that I got in those months since I made my last video. So let's get into it. The first group I have is a group from a Newbury Comics sale. I already filmed this. I filmed it right after I filmed the last video I put on this channel, and all the stuff got lost. And I remember being really bummed out and just being really discouraged by that. I'll just show you those pretty quick. They're not like, most of them are kind of newer releases. I have more, the big bulk of it is not this sale, but I'll show you what I got. So the first thing that I got was an album from a modern punk rock band, and I usually am not huge on bands like this, like modern day. I like older punk, but yeah, this is a band called Pup, and there was also their debut album in the sale, but I remember not being a fan of that one very much at all. I think they found a lot better sound on this one and the next one I'm going to show you, so I didn't pick that one up. But this has probably their most famous song, which is Sleep in the Heat, which is a fantastic song. It's an absolute banger, but it's about a dog dying. Just trust me, if you've heard the song, you know, just trust me. But this is a cool release. Got the inside here. Well, first let me just show you like the cool inner sleeve that it originally came in. It's like this, like the written lyrics. I just thought it was so cool. And the original, and like some of the stuff is like crossed out, which is really interesting, and like stuff was fixed. And the original song name for Sleep in the Heat was A Song for Norman. That is so sad. So all of the vinyl in this sale was colored vinyl, but it was limited to 500. This is a 2016 album, but it's a 2019, obviously, repress, because that's when I got it, 2019. But it's this blood red, really cool, that's it. It's on that cool like little handwritten Pup label. And yeah, this is a really cool album. I would really recommend checking this out. If you need an introductory song, I would say Sleep in the Heat. That's probably the most, I just feel like that's a good introduction to them, because that was the introduction I had, and I felt like it was a good segue because it's just a really catchy song in general. Like I said, I don't really love like punk rock from like now, like current days, but I do dig this band. And the second album that I picked up was from the same band, Pups. I think it's their latest album, Morbid Stuff. It's such a cool cover. I love it. Here, let me take off the outer sleeve. Isn't that like such a cool like just illustration, and it's nice and glossy. It's really high quality cover release here. This is the picture on the back. I love it. I love this. And like the color is really cool. I love that pink light, kind of millennial pink. And then this came in a really cool pink and oxblood like splatter. So one side is mostly pink, as you can see, and then one side is mostly oxblood. But I really dig, I love this. So I think some people wanted it to be just solidly the same color as the album, which is kind of like this color. But I really like this. I like the oxblood element. I think it fits Pup, if you've heard of Pup at all. The next one I got, I'm kind of bummed about because I bought it. It's a soundtrack to a movie. And I usually don't buy soundtracks. It depends. You'll see later there's another soundtrack. But I saw this and I'm like, instantly like, oh, I love this movie. This is such a good movie. I want it. It looks like such a cool release. And it is. The art is really cool. The cover itself and the album are great. But when I got it, I was like, this is literally just the music that was playing in the background. It's by Hans Zimmer, who I love, but I'm not just going to put this on a turntable to listen to. I'm going to listen to actual music for that, like album music. But it's True Romance, which is fantastic, fantastic movie. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but if not, it's great. It's by Quentin Tarantino, but Tony Scott directed. And it is a beautiful release. So this is the cover, and True Romance here is embossed. And if you can see this great drawing, like these are like conflicting scenes. Or not conflicting, but mirrored scenes, I should say. And this is, we all know that really infamous scene. Just look how well that's drawn. And these really cool, like, where it's embossed, there's bullet holes that are like not embossed, so it feels like there's bullet holes in it. And this is the back, more of that beautiful drawing. If you can see on the black, there's an embossed, slightly embossed, is it embossed or debossed? Yeah, it's embossed. The tattoo from the movie. This art down here is embossed. So if anything, this is a great piece of art. But the vinyl's cool also. This is a gold and purple split. So it goes with the art on the album and just the tattoo here and the horseshoe here. This is such a great movie. Tarantino is one of my absolute favorites, and I know he didn't direct this, but he wrote it, and we all know his writing is a lot of what makes his films so incredibly good. But this is like, I'm not going to play this, really. There's no reason for me to want to listen to like the music that played in the background while this stuff is happening, really. It's Hans Zimmer scores, which are amazing while you're watching the movie. I know some people like it. Some people like to just put on a soundtrack record like that, but I'm not really one of those people. Next up is a soundtrack. Like I said, you'll see what I mean. This soundtrack is fantastic. I didn't even realize until after I bought them that these are both Quentin Tarantino movies technically, but this one is directed. This is my favorite Tarantino movie, and I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion for favorite. For some people, this is like really far down on their list, and I don't know why, because this is my absolute favorite. It's just raw, pure writing, such good scene work and acting, and just a simple but like perfect plot, and the end, like just everything about it I fucking love. And it's Reservoir Dogs. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, that True Romance was limited to 300 copies. And this is a 2015 record, or reissue, from the 1992 soundtrack. But this was limited to 1,000. So this is the release. It's just a simple, that movie artwork that we've seen since the release. And this has a killer track. If you've ever seen this movie, you know that it's Super Sounds of the 70s Weekend. So it's Little Green Bag, Hooked on a Feelin', I Gotcha, Magic Carpet Ride, Fool for Love, Stuck in the Middle with You, that infamous ear scene, we all know it. My dog is dreaming right now. don't have the heart to wake him up. Sometimes he gets really loud and starts barking full volume in his sleep while I'm asleep, so I'll wake up at like 3 a.m. with him right next to me just barking in my ear, and that's fun. You okay, bud? You okay? Okay, he woke up. Oh, he's so sleepy. Okay, I'm gonna let him sleep. But yeah, I don't know if I finished saying what was on it. Stuck in the Middle with You, Harvest Moon, and Coconut. And just this soundtrack I'll listen to. And it's cool because all of the in-between tracks are like the spoken dialogue from the radio station. So we got like the super sound bit, Keep on Truckin', and now Little Green Bag, you know how the movie starts with their intro of them walking. That's always been like my favorite movie intro, is Little Green Bag playing and them walking in the suits. Oh, it's so good. I just love everything about this movie. And then there's also the Madonna speech in here, where they're all around the table talking about Madonna. I think that's so funny. But yeah, this is just so, I love this. So it's cool. It matches the cover, the red and black theme of the cover. And it's just this cool black and red split. That's cool. Just with the logo on it. That one I'll put on once in a while. Just a cool little... I mean, let's be honest, if I really am in the mood for that kind of thing, I'll probably watch the movie. But if I just kind of want to listen to the music, this is a really good option to go to. And just kind of get the vibe of the movie without watching it. Next up, I picked up 2 Allman Brothers Band's records. One of them is a press that came out in 2002 originally and was repressed in 2019. But it's from a 1970 concert. And it's called the Allman Brothers Band Quality Trucked in Daily since 1969. But their American University, Washington, D.C. show from the 13th of December, 1970. When I got it, I thought it was damaged because of the design. Here, can I get that? Yeah, there we go. So if you can see, there's like these pieces in here that look torn out. And I mean that, but that's a little more obvious that it's the design. But like the ones in there that look like it's torn, like here, scared the crap out of me. I was like, why is this already damaged? And like on the back, there's like this discoloration happening here. And right here, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. But it scared the crap out of me. But no, it's okay. It's just the design. So it's a gatefold. With some pictures here. And so these are supposed to be White Smoke and Black Smoke. So the first LP has White Smoke and it looks so cool. I really like that a lot. That's a cool thing. And that's the label. But the second one was a disappointment because it was supposed to be Dark Smoke and there's barely... You can't even see it unless you hold it down to a kind of a dark surface. See that? Yeah, you can kind of see that like dark right there. But like, look, you can't see it. It's not... It would be so cool if this had like the same effect in black that the other one does in white. That'd be such like a killer contrast. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I'm not the type of person who is like obsessed with color pressings. This whole sale just happened to be color pressings, which I thought was cool. Like, I do like them. But I mean, I know that sound is typically, not all the time, but typically superior in black, just regular vinyl. Sometimes you want a color press, you know? And this was limited to 1,000. I don't know if I already said that, but yeah, that's that. And the other one is an album you already know. So when it comes to color albums, I usually only like to get newer stuff. For things that were originally issued early, I want to get those versions. I don't want to get colored, usually. But I did get 2 vinyl here that I kind of strayed from that a little bit, just because, who cares? I'm sure that it sounds a little better. These aren't, like, my favorite albums ever or anything. Like, certain things I will not go for anything less than whatever. Anyway, enough talking. This is Brothers and Sisters by the Allman Brothers Band. You all kind of know this one. This is originally from 73. This was repressed onto this color in 2015, and it's limited to 1,000. And it's a pretty color scheme that goes with the fall colors on the front. Just a golden red translucent color there. So yeah, that's Brothers and Sisters. I really wanted to get this. I didn't know a lot about the Allman Brothers band, and I'm still not. I haven't heard all of their stuff, but I really like what I've heard so far. I haven't just heard these 2 albums. I have listened to others, but these are the only 2, right? Yeah, Allman Brothers albums that I own. And this next one is one that is the other older album that I picked up, and I love it. And it's so great. It's a live show again, and it has so much energy, and she is so good. And I'm not super familiar with all of her music, so it was nice to kind of get this. And it's Etta James Rocks the House. So good. If you hear this, the energy in this album is just insane from the audience and from her. It's so great. Kind of back. And then this one, this is a 63 album that was re-released in 2019. It's out of 300. And another reason I really wanted to get this was the colored vinyl, because these are my 2 favorite colors together, is really deep blue and really deep purple. And this is so beautiful. I think this is my favorite colored vinyl that I have, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to look, but how beautiful is this color scheme together? I'm not sure why they chose it. I have no idea, but I'm not complaining. It's just so pretty, and like, look at those colors. Oh, I love it so much. But yeah, I listened to this one like a few times around the month I got it, but I haven't listened to it since. So I really need to kind of give that one another spin. It was so good. I just remember loving it a lot. And it kind of got me a little more into Etta James's music. Someone's got a hold on me. Baby, what you want me to do? What did I say? Money, that's what I want. 7 Day Fool. And then on side 2, it's got Sweet Little Angel, Oop-Oop-A-Doo, woke up this morning, Ain't That Lovin' You, Baby, All I Could Do Is Cry, and I Just Want to Make Love to You. It's just a great live album. And this next one, okay, so I am so excited just about this in general, because, okay, this band is touring with Bob Dylan this year in the States. And it's going to be a little later in the year. It's in July, so I'm hoping, praying to God, everything is a little better by then. If not, if it's rescheduled, that's fine. I just praying to God that it's not canceled, because I got front and center row, and seeing Bob Dylan front and center row is just my dream in life. He's my favorite artist of all time, and I am so excited. And I love this band already, who he's touring with, so I'm super pumped to see them also. And it's Nathaniel, Rateliff, and the Night Sweats. They have such a cool sound. They're kind of this soul, kind of gospel, but folk rock band. And this is their album from 2015. It was repressed in 2017 out of 600 copies. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say the name of the album is their self-titled? But this has so many good songs on it. I Need Never Get Old, Howling at Nothing, I've Been Failing, SOB, which is their biggest one. It's so good. That's kind of an earworm for me, is SOB. Wasting Time, Thank You, I Be Waiting, Mellow. Like, literally every single song on this I love. And it's just so cool that they're touring with Bob Dylan, because a lot of times it'll be this incredible artist and another artist who's good but might not be your cup of tea, or maybe isn't that good, but Bob Dylan just knows what he's doing, okay? And it comes with just this little insert that has the title names and then a little picture of Nathaniel and the band. And then they call this gold online, and they do this with a lot of this color vinyl when it's not. It's like the color of pee when you're dehydrated. It's not gold. I mean, if you want to call it gold, whatever. But it's like a yellowish, it's still a cool color, and this is on a Stax label, but super happy to have this. Obviously got this way before I found out I was going to a show, or before we knew that they were touring together. I got this, I think I discovered them around 2017. Maybe like the end of 2017 or beginning of 2018. This is just a really killer album, in my opinion. If you haven't heard Nathaniel, Rateliff, and the Night Sweats, do yourself a favor. There's some incredible just instrumental work in there also. And finally we're on to the last one that I got at this sale, and it's, I haven't heard every single album of this band's. I've heard maybe 2 or 3, but this is my personal favorite. I think I have to re-listen, but this is the one I've listened to the most. And it's Lord Huron's Strange Trails. This is the album that has their most famous song, which is The Night We Met. This is, this album's from 2015. This is a 2019 repress. And then, got that beautiful, I love neon kind of lighting. Do you see no ghosts in me at all? So this music is so cool. So this is kind of like an indie folk rock kind of, but not really folk. It's like an indie rock. It's really cool. This album in particular I love. I think I would suggest getting into them through this album. So on side A, it has this song Love Like Ghosts, which is kind of the companion piece. If you hear them both, you'll know what I mean, to one of my all-time favorite, it might be in the running for my favorite Lord Huron song, which is Meet Me in the Woods, which is just such a great song. But this is full, like, I was going to name some songs that I like, but I love them all. The Night We Met is the, like I said, it's a double LP. It's the last song on the last side. Just all of these are just great. Until the Night Turns, that's a great song. Dead Man's Hand. The World Ender is a great song. Cursed, Way Out There. Just all of these songs are great. And I got it. Both of these look pretty much identical, so I'm not going to take them both out. I'll just take the one. This was limited to 750, and it's this clear on gold splatter, like paint splatter. No, it's gold on clear, I should say, not clear on gold, but really pretty. So yeah, that was the last one that I got. So I picked up some good, mostly modern stuff that I wanted to grab originally, and I just found them at this sale, and I thought, hey, why not? So the next thing I want to show you after those is just the last, like, modern thing I picked up, and I didn't realize until I was gathering all of these up that all 3 of the soundtracks that I've bought in this time period have been from Tarantino movies. No explanation. This is a cool release that I knew I wanted to get. This isn't one of my favorite Tarantino movies. I think it was a little too long, a little too drawn out. This isn't a movie review. I'm talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. However, I do love certain parts of this movie, like the ending and certain parts of it. And namely, it's 1969, guys. Incredible clothing, incredible music. It has Treat Her Right by Roy Head and the Traits, Rambling Gambling Man, the Bob Seger System, Hush from Deep Purple, Hector from the Village Callers, Son of a Lovin' Man, the Buchanan Brothers. Paxton Quigley's had The Course, which is from Three in the Attic by Chad and Jeremy. Good Thing from Paul Revere and the Raiders, Hungry from Paul Revere and the Raiders, Choo Choo Train by the Box Tops, Jenny Take a Ride, Kentucky Woman, Circle Game. I'm just not trying to name all this. This is going to take so long. Brother Loves Travelin', Salvation Show by Neil Diamond, Mr. Sun, Mr. Moon, California Dreamin', the one Jose Feliciano, Dynamite Jim. So like I said, this was the exclusive Barnes & Noble release. And this is really cool because, so these are like the inner sleeves they had them in, which is cool. This is a double LP, so the other one has different pictures. It's just all movie stills. But these are cool because, number one, they're on this really cool color, but, so they're on like this mustard color, yellowish, but do you see the labels? They modeled them after the 60s style labels. Isn't that so cool? The late 60s Columbia labels. It says stereo, it's got the 2i, 360 sound. I love that. It's this really cool little map of Hollywood from 1969. And it's got Whiskey A Go-Go on it. And then it has like, Spawn. My dog's making noises. It's got Spawn Ranch. It's got Peaches Records and Tapes. It's got Cinerama. The Playboy Mansion, Riot House. It's got Riot House on it. It's so, oh my god, this is everything. I love it. So, that was the last of the modern albums that I bought from places that like were not record stores or thrift stores. So the first, not the first thing, but the first thing in this pile, these are kind of randomly sorted. I tried to put artists together. Certain things I don't really remember. I know where I got everything, but I'm just trying to remember like how much I bought them for, whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll keep it going as we go. So the first thing we got here is the Kinks self-titled. The only other Kinks album that I own is Low Budget, but I wanted to get some of their older stuff because I've just heard much better things about their, you know, 60s, early days stuff, 70s. But yeah, this is their self-titled. This is mono. It is a 1979 repress, but that's okay. I just really wanted to hear this. And this is in, all of these here are in really good condition, which I'm very happy about. But it's on this Pi Records label. And yeah, this is in great condition, like I said. I like this a lot better than Low Budget. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like a lot of the stuff on Low Budget. It's just, and I do enjoy the album, but this is the kind of music that I like more. I've listened to this a bunch of times since I got it. And I definitely need more Kinks stuff now. Like, I have that on my list. I have a lot of holes I need to fill in my collection, a lot. Like, I have plenty of artists that I'm trying to get their discographies. This is one of them that I would like to get more of, is the Kinks. So this album I've wanted since I first started collecting, and it's Fire of Unknown Origin by Blue Oyster Cult. And I wanted this because it has Burnin' For You on it, which is like one of my favorite songs of all time. It is so nostalgic. It was a big song in my childhood. And just this is just one of the original 1981 presses. But this whole album, besides just Burnin' For You, is fantastic, obviously. It's got that gold ring Columbia label. So we've got Fire of Unknown Origin, Burnin' For You, of course. We've got Soul Survivor, Heavy Metal, The Black and Silver, Vengeance, After Dark, Joan Crawford, Don't Turn. Oh, this is a great album. And we got also have the original cool inner sleeve. This is also, it sounds like it was never played. It's incredible. So if any of you watched my other videos, you may not remember because it was literally 8 months ago or 9 months ago. But I did say that I haven't been collecting that long. I've been collecting for just under 2 years, like a year and a half, almost 2 years. And so I still have a huge list of albums that are like pretty much essential. I have a problem with people saying essential. I might make a separate video on that. But like for me, albums that I think should be in my collection for sure. And this is one of them that I was very happy to get. And this is Zeppelin 4 Untitled. This is a 77 repress, obviously from their 71 album. In beautiful condition. The vinyl is excellent as well. Obviously here on the Atlantic label. But this was really cheap. I got this at I get a lot of my records at this antique store kind of near me that have incredibly priced records. That's where I got my John Wesley Harding sealed first press mono for like, this was an accident, but like $10 or $15 or however much it was. That was incredible. But most of their stuff, even if they know, like even if they have a sticker on it that says it's something rare, is a really good price. And just stuff like this, almost perfect condition. It was like maybe, this was either $8 or $9. I want to say it's probably between 8 or 9. Oh, this next one is mad also. So this is another one that is like one that I really wanted because Rolling Stones, and also one of my favorite Rolling Stones albums, Exile on Main Street. So this one is awesome because it's, first of all, it sounds like no one's ever played it. It's a first press. And it sounds like no one's ever played it. Also, what's cool is that, number one, the cover is in pretty damn good shape. Besides, like, the tiniest amount of corner wear, this is solid. So this is the gatefold, perfectly good. And what is super cool, I got this for $12. And so it has everything in it. So, okay, well, these are the first off. These are the original inner sleeves. And it has the postcards in mint condition. Absolutely perfect. I haven't done anything with them, so I'm not going to, but I got this for like $10, guys. The first press, perfect condition all around, including the postcards and the vinyl. And they said on the sticker, they were like, with postcards and exclamation points. But I swear, I don't know what's going on, if they don't sell well or something. Because I know it's at an antique store, but I do see people in their vinyl section sometimes. And I do think, now that I'm thinking about it, on my last video, I talked about the antique store and their vinyl section, and I inserted a little clip on the side. So if you want to check that out, I think I talk a little bit about it there too. So yeah, this is Exile on Main Street, first press with the postcards. So very cool. All right, so the next one, I take it back when I said last of the modern records, because I forgot I got these online. And it's the entire discography, so 4 records from a singer that I just or not just singer and multi-instrumentalist and producer that I just discovered last year, named Novo Amor. He's kind of in the same vein as like Bon Iver a little bit. I haven't really listened to Bon Iver, but I'm obsessed with Novo Amor. I love him so much. This is his first EP called Woodgate, New York. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous album. Every song on here, 4 songs, From Gold, Weather, Cold, and Holland. Beautiful. Oh my god. This music, or this artist makes me feel some kind of way. This, you know, when certain artists just kind of like, they hit you? Yeah. Next is actually my favorite of all of his albums. He has 2 full lengths and 2 EPs. Obviously the 2 EPs first. But this is just my absolute favorite because it has my all-time favorite song from him, and it's also one of my favorite songs of all time. So the EP is called Bathing Beach, and my absolute favorite Novo Amor song is Carry You. It's the only song, I think the only song ever, that no matter what mood I'm in, no matter where I am, if I hear this song, 2 things. Number 1, it's like kind of a religion to me that I cannot turn it off. I have to listen to it all the way through. And number 2, makes me cry every single time. Every single time there are tears coming out of my eyes. It just hits me in a spot that, I don't know, it's just, and plus every other song on here, Colorway, Anchor, and Embody Me, are all just beautiful, beautiful. This thing is so cohesive, both sides. The songs complement each other so well. I think Anchor is his, either Carry You or Anchor is his most popular. I want to say Anchor is followed by Carry You, but I'm not sure. But he's Welsh, by the way. But his voice is just, and if you ever heard him live, he sounds the exact same way. And just, if you want to get into him, I would either listen to Carry You or Anchor first. Preferably Carry You because it's my favorite song by him. But just an incredible album, or EP. First of all, do we not love this kind of complimentary artwork on both of these? We love that. His labels, this is Bathing Beach, right, with the forest and the blue, which I love. And then his labels just match his cover art. And Woodgate is the exact same way. I'll just show it to you in the pack, but it just has the same kind of label that matches the front, which is gorgeous. This is a double LP, which is his first full length, but it's not his first solo full length. That'll come next. He collaborated on this with a producer named Ed Tollett, who also coincidentally, or maybe not coincidentally, remixed something for Bon Iver. I just want to show you this whole release. So this is the cover. Just this gorgeous kind of wave, blacks and dark blues here, and you can kind of see the track lists are here. 3 songs on each side. And so this is the cover, and then it comes with the inner sleeves, which match the cover. And then you have the back of the inner sleeves that have the lyrics to every song. As you can see, some of them are just very few words and all just gorgeous instrumental. Oh my god, it's so good. Same on this one. And then there's just an inner insert that has some credits and then just art. And just so much thought goes into making these just look so nice, and that rarely happens anymore. And it's a really nice touch. Oh, and there's a download code that comes with it, but I haven't used it, but that's what it looks like, a little download. And it has also the art on the back. But after all that, I will say this is probably my least favorite album of his. It's gorgeous, don't get me wrong. And if I ever listen to Novo Amor's complete discography, which I have multiple times in succession, this is always included, and it's appreciated and beautiful. But I just think Novo Amor is just a touch better with his solo stuff. Just a touch. It's still all beautiful and wonderful, but I don't think at this point he needs to be collaborating with anybody like in this way. So his first album was released in 2014, which was Woodgate, or his first EP, I should say. His second EP was released in 2016, which was my favorite, Bathing Beach. And Eris was released in 2016. Beautiful album. Probably my least favorite, but saying I have a least favorite of Novo Amor is still saying it's incredible music. And then he's back to it with this gorgeous, his first solo album, full-length LP, Birthplace, which came out in 2018. Killer album. And again, outdoes himself with the artwork, the most beautiful artwork yet. Just, I have a shirt with this art on it. And the little, oh my god, this is so washed out. Holy crap, I'm so sorry. But yeah, here's the track list. Some songs I love on here, all of them, every single one. But Utica, Seneca, State Line, Sleepless, Repeat Until Death, O Round Lake. Just beautiful. Like, these are my official rainy day records. And once again, another download card with the art on the back. And then just the one inner sleeve this time with the beautiful art that's totally washed out and more pretty in person, but you get the picture. And then this really, really cool, it's a book that like has kind of translucent pages, so you can see, like, this is the first page, it has this art on it, which is beautiful. The next page is this, and it just works in layers. The next is the island. Oh my god, how fucking pretty! There we go. How pretty is that? And then just the kind of watercolor background. Just unbelievable pressings. So gorgeous. But like, honestly, no less would make any sense from this artist. His type of music and the way the amount of quality in his recordings, and this just matches the aura and the feeling of the music so well. So now that I'm done ranting and raving about Novo Amor and his discography, let's move on to another incredible, legendary, this time, artist, Duke Ellington. This was a blind buy for, I think it was $2 at the antique store. It's a 1956 mono, and it's Duke Ellington and his orchestra in a mellotone. I love Duke Ellington. This isn't my favorite by him. It's a little dated. The pressing is fantastic, but the recording is not great. Like the reason that the recordings aren't great is because they're all from the early 40s, right? Yeah. So like 41, 1940, 42, 41, 41, 42, 40, 40, 40, 41, 40, 40, 40, 41, 42. Yeah, so they're all from the early 40s, so it's not going to be some incredible quality pressing. This is from 1956, this pressing, but the music in it is great. It's just more of something, if I'm having like a jazz day, this will just go into the mix, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'd ever be in the mood like, oh, I want to listen to In a Mellotone, you know? Unless there's like a specific reason, like, let me go back to that, you know? But it does have some really good songs on it, but any way I can build up my Duke Ellington collection, which is very small right now, but I'm still at like 1.5 to almost 2 years of collecting, so I don't have a huge Duke Ellington collection. I only recently got into jazz, so I'm just very happy to have another one of his. The next one I picked up, I already have a copy of. It's a German first press, the one I already have, but the quality was kind of, it was maybe, I mean, it was probably like pretty much a VG plus, but like maybe a little less. It just had a little too much surface noise for my liking. So I found this at the antique store again for what was this? I think this was either 10 or 12 bucks. And it's something new from the Beatles. And this is an original 64 mono. Let me take this out. And it's kind of interesting. It has a stamp here of the now defunct record store in the same city or town that I bought it. And it's kind of sad but kind of cool at the same time, like it used to be there, but it's always been in the same town is kind of cool. Obviously this is a first US press, not a first UK press, but that's okay. On the Rainbow Capital. And this is in, stellar condition, like excellent, maybe excellent plus. But I don't really need to say much about this. It's the Beatles. Not really talked about as much because it's one of their, kind of more forgotten earlier. But some songs I like on here, All Cry Instead and Things We Said Today. I love those. Tell Me Why. And I Love Her. You know what? I dig the Beatles early stuff. I know it's very like generic kind of pop. But there's just something endearing about listening to a great band before they branched out into these areas where no other band ever had. It's just endearing because they still had so much talent in this genre as well. Every time I talk about Bob Dylan now, I'm just going to be so excited. I always am anyway because it's Bob Dylan and I just love him. There he is. He's right there. But I picked up Another Side of Bob Dylan. This album is from 64. This is a 65 repress mono. But it is in such gorgeous shape. The disc, the cover is solid also, like completely. And the disc is on the Columbia 2i. This is an album I don't think gets talked about enough. He has some really killer tracks on this album, dude. All I Really Want to Do, which is so nostalgic for me, is the first track. Chimes of Freedom. I Shall Be Free is a batshit song and I love it. To Ramona. Oh, Motorcycle Nightmare, which is really cool. It's like if you've never heard it, you probably have, but it's like a companion piece to Bob Dylan's 115th Dream. If you listen to that, it's like totally like a precursor to that, like just in sound and everything. You know what I mean if you've heard it. But also My Back Pages, which has one of the best lyrics of all time. But I was so old then. I'm younger than that now. It's so good. And Ballad in Plain D is amazing. Just all of the songs on here are so good. It's Bob Dylan in the 60s. Of course it's fucking amazing. So there's a reason with him that I don't have his entire discography. I am extremely, when I say I'm picky with other records, that's true. But when it comes to Bob Dylan, I am extremely, extremely, extremely picky. It needs to be brilliant or really, really good quality because I'm going to be listening to it. It needs to be close to an original, like this is a 65 off a 64, that's okay. And I want it to have like a good cover. Obviously this is unless I find like his self-titled on a 6i or something. Obviously that's a grail, but like stuff like this, like I'm very, very picky. So I go through his discography a little slower just because I want to make sure I have the perfect copies, and this is an absolutely incredible sounding copy of Another Side of Bob Dylan. The next one is another Bob Dylan, and it's one that I do already have a copy of, but it's a stereo copy, and I really wanted a mono copy. Alright guys, sorry, the camera might look slightly different because I had to change the battery. But anyway, I got the Another Side of Bob Dylan for $10, and I got this for $15. Yeah, so it's an original press mono of Bringing It All Back Home, one of my absolute favorite Dylan records. I always have like the same three switching places for top, and this is one of them. I just love this record so much. I mean, this is just obviously a really historical, literally, like, it's an important record because this literally marks a shift from him going from acoustic to electric. On one side is electric, on one side is acoustic, and it was such a huge outroar when this happened, and it's just full of some of my absolute favorite songs. So yeah, this is a 1965 mono, and it's an excellent listening shape, and the cover's in incredible shape also. I don't even know if anybody really listened to this ever. Like, you got that Columbia 2i again. Just a beautiful copy of this that I'm so happy to have. Some of my favorite songs off here, like I will literally list this entire thing. Subterranean Homesick Blues is possibly my favorite Bob Dylan song for sentimental reasons. There is never a time where I would not want to listen to Subterranean Homesick Blues. She Belongs to Me. I'm just going to list my favorites. Maggie's Farm. Oh my god, they're all my favorites. Love Mine is Zero. Oh, I'm going to try and... Bob Dylan's 115th Dream that I talked about before. That's one of my favorites. Mr. Tambourine Man, obviously. Gates of Eden. It's Alright Ma, I'm Only Bleeding. It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. This is just so full of incredible songs. Some of my favorites from Dylan and why I love him so much. So the next one that I picked up is this 67 mono original again of Magical Mystery Tour. I think this was $15 at the antique store. I know this often goes down as one of the least liked of the guy's albums, but I always really dug this one. It has some incredible songs. I love I Am the Walrus, Blue Day Way, Hello Goodbye, Strawberry Fields Forever, Penny Lane, All You Need Is Love. This has a killer B-side. This is, like I said, an original press, US press mono. All of these obviously are US. I would love to get these on a UK at some point, but for right now I'm okay with a first US press. Again, on the Rainbow Capital. The pressing is incredible. Oh yeah, and this has the book, but the only thing about this is the full book is, oh wait, is this? Yeah, the full book is in here, but the middle piece came out. There's absolutely no damage. It's in fantastic condition. I just need to figure out a way without damaging anything to get this just back in the middle. So this next one, I'd heard of this because I love the Mamas and the Papas. I never owned this, and I wasn't looking for this when I stumbled on it. I got this at my local record store, Darkside Records, and it's the Mugwumps. And this is such an interesting record. First of all, fantastic pressing. It's a 1967 mono, and it sounds really, really good. There's the label. And it's literally called an historic recording. So the reason this is so interesting, I'll tell you why it's interesting first, and then I'll talk about the songs on it. So this band had 5 members. You see 4 here, but there is a 5th one that just didn't work on this album. So, first person here who stands out, I'm sure. You'll notice that's Mama Cass. So her and Denny are right here. They went on from this. This was their first project. They went on together to be in the Mamas and the Papas. This is Jim Hendrix. He was married to Mama Cass. They got divorced, and he didn't really go on to do much. He was the only one in the band who kind of didn't really do anything of note. But this, Zalyanovsky and John Sebastian, who isn't pictured here because he wasn't on this album technically, but he was in the band, they went on to form the Lovin' Spoonfuls. So 4 out of the 5 members of this band really hit it big in other bands, but in pairs. So I just think that's so cool. But anyway, this is actually a really killer album. I really like this album a lot. It's obviously their only one. Searchin', which is the first song on here, side A, is such an earworm. I even have it on my phone so that when I am out in the car or something and it is stuck in my head, I can listen to it. It is such an earworm, but there are a lot of good songs on here. I Don't Want to Know. Do You Know What I Mean? That's a great song. It's really short too. It's under 2 minutes. You Can't Judge a Book by the Cover. Do What They Don't Say. So Fine. Really catchy music in here. And fantastic harmonies. Mama Cass in here also with that voice. You can hear her. All of they just sound really, really good. And yeah, this is just, I would pick this up for sure. I would recommend this. Absolutely. And this is a great copy of it. I don't know if I took it out of here, but this is what it looks like. So yeah, that's just the Mugwumps one and only album, self-titled, from 1967. The next one is from an artist very near and dear to my heart, and his name is Donovan. So this is Donovan's very famous Sunshine Superman album. This is just a original 1966 mono press. It's got a ton of classics on here. My favorites are Sunshine Superman, Season of the Witch, Guinevere, The Trip, Three Kingfishers, Legend of a Girl Named Linda. I love The Fat Angel. Jefferson Airplane's cover of that is phenomenal also. And of course, Celeste. I love that song. This is the label. It's on the Epic label. And this is in excellent condition as well. I also got this at my local record store. I want to say this was $10. 10, yeah, I think it was 10. And I picked it up because the record is beautiful. The cover is absolutely beautiful. I swear, some of the stuff people have never played. And I know I mentioned it in another video, but this record store in particular, I think I've only had one album. I bought a lot of albums there, and I've only ever had one that was not a very good, that wasn't very good sounding in terms of like noise. Everything else there is just like really good. They seem to be pretty picky with what they pick, or I just have good luck. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm really, really happy to have this. The next one is a modern album, and you guys are going to probably laugh at me for this, but he is a great solo artist. I'm sorry, but he is. If you just take away all your preconceived notions, and it's Harry Styles' first album, his self-titled. So, a couple things. One, this album is better than Fine Line. I'm sorry, it's just, in my opinion, this style of music is way more my style. I like it. Some of the songs on Fine Line are good. A couple are really good, but I just prefer this album loads. I like every single song on here. And this is actually sealed, and I don't know if I'm going to open it. It's the pink version that he sold for only 24 hours on the 2nd anniversary. So, yeah, I mean, I might just pick up a regular black. I keep meaning to, because they're not that expensive. Just a regular black edition of this to listen to. But I kind of want to keep this sealed, but I also really want to see the pink. What do y'all think? I don't know. But yeah, he's probably the only solo artist in One Direction that I really follow. I tried to follow Niall. Some of his stuff is good, but it's very generic, I feel like. And none of the others really are my style of music. So Harry is where it's at. And he has some fantastic influences, and I think that's why he is so good, and his voice is great. Just leave all of your preconceived notions at the door if you've never heard it, and just listen with an open mind. Maybe you'll like it, and if you don't, whatever. But I think Harry Styles' self-titled is a fantastic album. A lot of people prefer Fine Line, but I would say most of those people are younger people, kind of my age, who like different genres than I like, which is fine, but I prefer his first. So the next one is really cool, just because this is probably one of the quietest records I own, and it's an original press. It's the uncensored version of Some Girls, which is one of my favorites from the Rolling Stones, and it's so mint. There's no way anybody's ever played this record. So it's the uncensored, as you can see with the cutouts. See, there's the inner sleeve. I'm going to take that all the way out. The inner sleeve is so crisp. This is in stupidly good condition for being 40 years old. And the vinyl was never played. It almost makes me feel bad for listening to it, because it is in just pristine condition. It's a little dusty right now. I need to clean it. But other than that, I swear, some of these records are more staticky than others. Do you notice that? Like, I'll do the exact same things to every record, and some of them, like Novo Amor's discography, staticky as hell. I don't know why, but, yeah. So, yeah, this press is just beautiful. I'm really glad I found this. This was at the, vintage store for, this was, yeah, I remember this was $12, which was really killer. I mean, I don't really need to talk about this one. It's Some Girls. Great songs. But, yeah, this is just, I feel like, for me, this is one of my favorite Stones records, for sure. And next, I picked up at the same record store, Dark Side, and it's my first Melanie record. There's a couple records of hers that I really want. This was one of them, so I'm very happy that I have it, and it's Candles in the Rain. And this is just an original press from 1970. So the cover's in pretty good condition here. Like, great condition besides a tiny bit of corner wear. And I've always loved this label. It's Buddha Records. With tie-dye. So yeah, this has Lay Down. which is one of my favorite Melanie songs. Very basic to say, I know, but it's so good. Kind of reminds me of Greta Van Fleet now a little bit. I loved it before them, or before I found out about them, but for anybody who's been to their live shows, you know why that reminds me of them. It also has Candles in the Rain, Carolina in My Mind, Lovin' Baby Girl, Ruby Tuesday. Ruby Tuesday is a great song. Leftover Wine. What Have They Done to My Song Ma? That's a great song. The Good Guys. This is just a great album. And a beautiful press of it. What I really also want to get, my next Melanie album that I want, is Gather Me. Because Brand New Key is on that one. And that was the first song I ever heard by Melanie. And do you want to know why it was the first song and how I discovered it? It was on when I was, what was this, 10 years ago? So I was probably about 13. And Jackass came out, Jackass 3 came out. And it was on Jackass 3. And I loved it. That's how I found out about Melanie. I was like, I love this song. So it's kind of nostalgic for me because it reminds me of like my teenage days, which also weren't like a great time, but it's nostalgic for the good reasons of the things I liked. And so I really want Gather Me next, but yeah, great album here. The next kind of spurred something here. It's the Monkees headquarters. I was familiar with the Monkees. I had listened to some of their stuff. I saw this in the record store. And this is an extremely clean press, by the way. It got a little wear on this on the cover, but that's okay. I don't really mind that. But anyway, so like I said, I knew some of the Monkees stuff. So I saw this at the record store and I was like, you know what? Let me pick this up, kind of just give a whole Monkees album a listen. The rest is history. There's going to be a lot of Monkees albums in my next video because I love them. I love the Monkees. I'm going to save a lot of my opinions for my next video because a lot of albums are on my next video and I'll talk more about them, or a lot of the albums. This is a 1967 original mono press. Very clean on the Cole Gems label. Familiar Cole Gems. Like I said, I knew of them. I knew some of their songs. But giving a whole album a listen through is what really got me hooked. And now I'm a big Monkees fan. So, that's that. Alright, and now we got one last one to show you. Which is kind of lame because I haven't even opened it. But I have a Mo-Fi version of this. And it sounds great. And I just can't decide if I want to open this and give it a listen or not. And it's the beautiful album Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. And this is the half-speed original master recording from Mobile Fidelity. And I remember when I first heard about this, I was on the Steve Hoffman forums. And they were talking about this when it was first going to get released. And they were like, people are already buying it by phone. And it's like going really fast because word of mouth, people are getting this. And I'm like, I don't want to miss out on this. And I think this was before I got my original master recording Mobile Fidelity version. So I was like, I called. So what they said is you call. So I called and ordered this. I forgot about it. I got that, my current version of Blood on the Tracks. I still need to get an original, but that's another story. That's okay. And then this came, and I just don't know if I want to open it. This is, out of 9,000, this is 1,318. And I'm trying to find out, has anybody listened to this and the original master recording normal Mo-Fi version? Because I'm just curious how much better this sounds or not, or like, should I open this and give it a listen? Should I keep it sealed? I don't know. I'm just really happy I own it, don't get me wrong, but I just can't decide, and it's been months since it came, so I'm very happy I got it. It's sold out, so I'm happy I got it. So that is my first video back, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I am so sorry I was gone for so long. My throat kind of hurts after talking about all those vinyl records, but I am so happy to be back. That felt so good to just talk about records again. Ugh. And like I said, I have another video all planned. It should be out in the next week or so with all of my social distancing online purchases. And I have some really cool ones. Some of them are right behind me right now to show you. Lots of genres. And thank you guys for watching this video and being here after 8 months of my absence. Please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. I would love that so much. If not, if you don't like this kind of thing, that's fine. But leave a comment down below about any of the albums you just saw, some things that you picked up. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Okay,